What's going on, Predators? Welcome back to Apex Predator Outdoors. I'm Travis. So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about how my 2020 season so far has just started off in the absolutely bad way that it absolutely could. So you might have seen from some of my other things I've talked about a new bow here and there if you follow me on Instagram or anything like that. By the way, while we're talking about it, if we haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that right now, please. I really appreciate you, and hopefully today is the day that I earned that subscription. So my 2020 season has gotten off to a very rocky start, and that was really due to one thing that really started the whole thing in action. I was having some issues tuning my bow and trying to get everything, to shoot straight, and it would be good for a few shots, and then I'd start to see things, kind of drift off to the side, and I was having just a lot of issues with it. And unfortunately, I took it to the shop to go get it checked out. So I started noticing some really bad problems whenever I went and I came to full draw on my bow. And whenever I did, the whole top cam would lean sharp to the left every time, and it scared the heck out of me because it almost derailed several times. So I took it, before I messed with it anymore, I don't have a bow press, and so I took it to the local bow shop, what ended up happening is the guy took it apart and he found out that I had two cracked limbs on the top. He said that there was only one thing holding it together, and I had this limb saver dampener on the top. It's one that goes through the limbs, and he said that was basically the only thing holding the limb together there. So on that note, like I say, I could order new limbs, do all this stuff. Tried to hunt down some limbs. It wasn't as easy as I thought right away. But anyways, what I ended up doing was I just went to, I know that there's an archery shop close to me that had a really good deal on a new bow, so I ended up purchasing a new bow. But the saga of my original Martin Max 33 is not done there. So I decided to go ahead and figure out if I could get new limbs and try to figure out how to do replacements and things like that. And long story short, it wasn't quite as easy a process as I liked, but the customer service at Martin Archery was really good, and they actually were able to send me a brand new set of limbs here for it. These are a little bit different from the original ones. The original ones were this treason early season, which isn't a bad camo, but I have nothing else in that treason color, so I decided to go with something a little bit different. So I went with just the black limbs, and these are the newest version of the limbs that have the tri-lock system built into it. So we'll see how that all goes when we go to get it set up. But yeah, so it turns out there's two things wrong with the bow. There was a spacer that was broken, and so it was causing this to be loose. And the other thing was that like I said, whenever the limbs were twisting, you can see there's really big splinters right here on the bottom of the limbs, and so they're both just shot on the top here. The bottom limbs are technically just fine. There's no cracks or anything like that that I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to these just as a backup, just in case. But yeah, those whole things had to be replaced, unfortunately. So where does this take me now? So basically what I ended up having to do was, like I say, I've got a new bow. Had some issues with that. I took it to another bow shop, and I got them to put it on the press, and I think it may have gotten overpressed, and so I also had a cracked limb on the new bow. The new bow is a Martin Archery Addix 28. But again, like I said, I had a cracked limb on that bow, and again, Martin warranted that for me. They sent me a brand new limb for it, which was really awesome. They're in the middle of moving their factory over there in, I think it was North Carolina, but they still made time to ship this to me. So long story short, what am I doing here? So basically I'm going to take this bow here now, what's left of it. This is my riser from the bow. I'm going to take this bow and I'm going to completely redesign it. So my plan is I want to strip all of the treason early season camo off of this, and I'm going to Cerakote this riser into something new. So I'm thinking either like a flat dark earth, maybe like a jet black, and I'm also going to put a texture underneath that so that I can have like a shark skin texture on the bow and everything. So I'm really excited about that, but here's what I want. I actually want you guys to help me decide what color to make this. So obviously I've got the black limbs. I'm not going to put any coating or anything on the limbs. I'm just going to leave them black. So give me some ideas here what I should do with this riser, what I should make. I'm actually going to take and I'm going to shape the riser a little bit here, the grip, so it feels a little bit better, you know, sitting in the hand and everything, and make a few modifications to it as we go on. But anyways, yeah, I want you guys to help me choose the color. So I'm going to put a link down in the description for some Cerakote that I can buy on Amazon, and then again, I want you guys to help me pick the almost said the flavor. I want you to help me pick the color that we do this. So give me some options, and just post in the comments below what you'd like to see me do with it. So anyways, something else I wanted to note too is, you know, modern bows have so much sound dampening and things built into them already that it's actually quite amazing how dead they can be. I didn't really appreciate how much went into it, because this is actually, the Max 33 is an extremely quiet bow. I've had people shooting Matthews and Hoyt at the range tell me, man, that is a really quiet bow, and that's without, you know, adding, that was before I added these other silencers and things like that. I was really amazed at how much quiet, or how much quieter they make these bows. So basically, with just a plain aluminum riser here, you can see that it's actually got quite a bit of resonation in it, I guess you'd say. So it resonates quite a bit. And so what was really interesting is whenever I took these dampeners out of here, there's two of them, there's one on each side, how much the bow actually resonates. So, you know, of course, when you add the limbs and you add all the other different things to it, you know, under that tension, it's not going to vibrate as much. But whenever I take these out, I mean, you can hear how much different, how much that resonates. And again, this is just bare aluminum riser. It's just aluminum. There's a couple pieces of wood in here, but that's about it. So that's another thing too. Is, should I leave the wood in there? What do you think? I mean, I'll give you a close-up shot of this stuff here. But yeah, like I say, should I leave the wood? How should I design this, guys? So just let me know in the comments below, and I appreciate you tuning in, guys. And next week I'll show you my new bow whenever I get it back out of the shop and get the limbs replaced, and we'll be good to go. So remember, guys, always check out your bows before you go fire them before season, especially if you've had it sitting in the closet for a few months. Make sure you get it out and you shoot it. Make sure it's still tuned, because a lot of things can happen whenever it's in storage. Get it out, check it out, and I'll see you next time, guys. And as always, keep defying the odds.